Good afternoon, Tagum City. Good afternoon, viewers and listeners. Welcome once again to Salida TeleRadyo of La Filipina National High School, where you will learn another engaging and exciting lessons that will be very helpful to you. I am your teacher host, Teacher Roslyn Presno. For today, you will learn many things about the systems of planting, a lesson from grade 7 TLE. Let us now welcome our teacher broadcaster, Miss Elgin Saruca.
Good day, students. How are you? Are you ready to learn another lesson? I hope you are ready. Join me, your teacher, Miss Elgin Saruca, as we go through another lesson in TLE 7 on horticulture. Before we start, I would like for you to get your self-learning module, paper, pen, for you to note or to take note of the important information that you will learn in our discussion. Did you get it? Great! Also, make sure that you are comfortably seated as you engage in the act of learning. For today, we will discuss about the systems of planting, which is a lesson from the Module 4 for the third quarter. Before we proceed, here are our lesson objectives for today's lesson. First, identify the systems of planting. Second, determine the advantages and disadvantages of the different systems of planting. Third, appreciate the importance of the systems of planting. At this point, let us check your knowledge through this guessing game. This is relevant to our topic today. For this guessing game, you may write your answers on your paper after I have shown and described the picture to you. I believe that you can identify every picture that I will be showing or describing to you because all of these are familiar already to you. Are you ready? Let's start. This is the first picture. This has 4 sides and has 4 corners. This is a 4-sided figure whose sides are all the same length or are all equal. What shape is this? If your answer is square, you are correct. Let's proceed to the next one. This is the second picture. This has 4 sides and 4 corners. The opposite sides of this have the same lengths and are parallel. What shape is this? If your answer is rectangle, you are correct. Let's proceed to the next one. This is the third picture. This is a polygon with 6 sides. What shape is this? If your answer is hexagon, you are correct. You did great. I hope you got the correct answers. At this point, let us proceed to the discussion of our lesson. Have you tried planting fruit trees? Did you enjoy doing it? If you have, what are the fruit trees you planted? You can write your answers on your paper. Perhaps you planted mango trees, papaya trees, durian trees, lanzones, and many more. Indeed, Many are fond of involving themselves in the activity of planting tree seedlings into the ground so that they will grow. From a social aspect, planting helps people become connected to the growing process, and it provides many benefits. With this, knowing the different systems of planting will be of great help. The system of planting to be adopted is selected after considering the slope of the land, the purpose of utilizing the orchard space, convenience, and many more. So any method of layout should aim at what? At providing maximum number of trees to be planted per hectare, and also adequate space for proper development of the trees with bigger canopy, because the trees with bigger canopy require greater distance between them. It is because it also affects the growth of a tree. Too close, and the tree will have a small space to gather nutrients from the soil as the next tree or the other tree becomes its competitor. Now, let us identify the first system of planting. The first system of planting is the square system. This is the most commonly followed system and is very easy to lay out. Trees are planted in the four corners of a square, keeping the same distance between rows and from plant to plant in the same row. This is the easiest system of planting or plantation. So, this is what a square planting system looks like. So, what are the advantages of a square system? We have four. First is that the irrigation channels can be made straight. Second, paths can be made straight. Third, operations like plowing o yung pag-aararo, harrowing, cultivation, spraying, and harvesting o pag-aani becomes easy. Mas nagiging madali ang paggawa ng mga gawain na ito. Fourth one is, better supervision of the orchard is possible dahil mas nababantayan mo ang iyong halamanan from one end to the other. So if we have advantages, we also have disadvantages of the square planting system. So what are these? The first one is that lesser number of trees is planted in a given area. The second disadvantage is distance between plant to plant and row to row remains the same, and hence certain amount of space in the middle of the trees is wasted. Now let's proceed to the second system of planting. The second system of planting is the rectangular system. Trees are planted in the same way as like in the square system, except that the distance between rows will be more than the distance between plants in the same row. Four adjacent trees in this system make a rectangular design. So this is what a rectangular planting system looks like. What are the advantages of a rectangular system? We have four. First, intercultural operations like weeding, pruning, and fertilizing can be carried out easily. Second one, light can penetrate into the orchard through the large spaces between rows. Third, better supervision is possible. Mas nababantayan mo yung mga or yung halamanan mo. The fourth one intercropping or growing a crop among the trees of a different kind is possible. So what are the disadvantages of a rectangular planting system? We have two. First one, a large area of the orchard between the rows is wasted kung hindi maa-apply yung intercropping. The second one, less number of trees are planted. Hindi gaanong marami ang bilang ng mga puno ang nakatanim. Now let's proceed to our next system of planting. The third planting system is the diagonal system. It is the same as the square system except for the addition of a tree sa gitna ng bawat square. The number of trees in the same area is almost double. But the distance between trees is much reduced. For this reason, trees with shorter life are chosen for the center. This means that by the time na lumaki yung main trees, the central trees will have finished their life cycle. So the trees at the center are known as the filler crop. And the main trees are called the main crops. So if the filler crop hinders the growth of the main trees, dapat itong alisin. Papaya and guava are some of the examples of filler crops. So this is what a diagonal planting system looks like. What are the advantages of diagonal planting system? We have three. The first one is that it generates additional income because additional income can be earned from the filler crop till the main crop comes into bearing. The second one, compared to square or rectangular systems, almost double yung number of trees can be planted. The third one, maximum utilization of the land is possible. So what are the disadvantages of a diagonal system? First, scale is required to lay out the orchard. Second one, inter-filler crop or filler crop can interfere with the growth of the main crop. Third, intercultural operations become difficult. And the last one, the spacing of the main crop is reduced if the filler crop is allowed to continue after the growth of the main crop. Now let's proceed to our next system of planting. The fourth planting system is the hexagonal system. Trees are planted at the corners of an equilateral triangle. 6 such triangles are joined together to form a hexagon. So 6 trees are positioned at the corners of this hexagon with a 7th in the center, all arranged in the 3 rows. However, the distance between the tree from the other tree in the 6 directions remains the same. So this is what a hexagonal planting system looks like. What are the advantages of hexagonal system? First, compared to square system, 15% more trees can be planted. Second, it is ideal system for the fertile and well-irrigated land. Third, plant-to-plant distance can be maintained with the same distance. Fourth, more income can be obtained. What are the disadvantages of hexagonal planting system? First, intercultural operations become difficult. Second, skill is required to lay out the orchard. Now let's proceed to our fifth planting system. The fifth planting system is the contour system. Contour is an imaginary line connecting all points of equal elevation across a slope. In a hilly area, a lot of depressions, ridges, furrows, and placed surface are found. But when planting is done, a line is made connecting all the points of the same elevation across the slope from a baseline. This spacing is maintained on this row. However, row-to-row distance will not be the same since the degree of slope varies from spot to spot. This is what a contour planting system looks like. What are the advantages of contour system? First, this system can be adopted in hilly regions and leveled land. Second, contour system can control soil erosion. Ito yung pagguho ng lupa. Fourth, it helps simultaneously in the conservation of water. Fourth, preservation of plant nutrients supplied by manures and fertilizers is possible. Fifth, contours from an easy path movements on the hill slopes are used for carrying out various orchard operations such as weeding, pruning, harvesting, and disease and pest control. What are the disadvantages of contour system? We have 4. First, laying out of contour lines is difficult and time-consuming. Second, special skill is required to lay out this system. Third, special instruments are required for making contour lines. Fourth, the row-to-row distance will not be equal and adjustments may be required in the plant-to-plant distance. So those are our 5 systems of planting. It is very important to know these so that we can provide maximum number of trees to be planted per hectare and adequate space or proper development of the trees and to ensure the convenience in orchard cultural practices. Are you still with me, students? Now, let us apply what you learned today by answering the following questions. You may write your answers on a piece of paper. I want you to answer these questions honestly. At the end of the questions, I will reveal the correct answers. Are you ready? Let's start. Number 1. The trees are planted in 4 corners of a square, keeping the same distance between rows and from plant to plant in the same row. A. Rectangular system. B. Square system. C. Contour system. D. Diagonal system. Number 2. The trees are planted at the corners of an equilateral triangle. A. Diagonal system. B. Rectangular system. C. Hexagonal system. D. Square system. Number 3. This is the simplest and easiest system of planting A. Square system. B. Diagonal system. C. Rectangular system. D. Hexagonal system. Number 4. There are 4 adjacent trees in the system, which make a rectangular design. A. Square system. B. Rectangular system. C. Diagonal system. D. Contour system. Number 5. It is an imaginary line connecting all points of equal elevation across a slope. A. Contour. B. Diagonal. C. Equilateral. D. Layout. Now let us reveal the correct answer for each question. For number 1, the correct answer is letter B. For number 2, letter C. Number 3, letter A. Number 4, letter B. And number 5, letter A. You did great! I hope you got the correct answers. Now, at this point, let us evaluate what you learned today by also answering the following questions. You may write your answers on a piece of paper. At the end of the questions, we will reveal or I will reveal the correct answers. Let's start. Number 1. Systems of layout refers to the design of planting the trees. It is desirable to have the trees planted in a systematic way because of the following reasons except one. A. Orchard operations like intercultural or irrigation are carried out easily. B. It results in maximum utilization of an area according to different kinds of tree. C. It makes supervision more easy and effective. Or letter D. Irrigation channels and paths can be made straight. Number 2. The following are the advantages of rectangular system except one. A. Better supervision is possible. B. Intercropping is possible. C. Intercultural operations can be carried out easily. D. Skill is required to lay out the orchard. Number 3. The following are the disadvantages of contour system except one. A. Double the number of trees. B. Layouting of contour lines is difficult and time-consuming. C. Special skill is required to lay out the system. Or letter D. Special instruments are required for making contour lines. Now, let us reveal the correct answers for each question. For number 1, the correct answer is letter D. Irrigation channels and paths can be made straight. For number 2, the correct answer is letter D. Skill is required to lay out the orchard. Number 3, the correct answer is letter A. Double the number of trees. You did great! I hope you were able to get the correct answers. At this point, for your assignment, create a one-sentence description about the importance of the systems of planting in our daily lives. You may write your answer on a piece of paper and submit it on the day of the submission of output. This will be the rubric that we will be using in giving a score to your output. The rubric covers the content or ideas, organization, vocabulary or word choice, and conventions. The highest score that we will be giving for each criteria is 6 points. So, thank you for listening. I hope that you learned a lot in our learning session today. In our next episode, we will discuss another fun and exciting lesson. I am your teacher, Ma'am Elgin Saruca. See you again next time only here at Salida TeleRadyo. Good day.
That was great! Thank you, Ma'am Elgin. Thank you, viewers and listeners, for tuning in. We hope that you have learned a lot for today. God bless everyone, and goodbye for now.